Nail beauty school was just the beginning, right? What on earth do you do now? Welcome to the Salon Success Podcast with Monaco Nail Academy. Our topics stretch beyond nails and into all things salon related, business, marketing, and social media, and at the very least hits you with real, honest stories about our experiences. This isn't school, this is real life, real business, and really freaking hard work. The Salon Success Podcast is recorded live on Mondays at 5 p.m. New Zealand time via facebook.com/Monaco Nail Academy and available on Spotify and Google playlists. Before we get started, wherever you are, thumbs up, tag a friend in the comments, or hit that share button and support small business. Hey guys, Penny here from Monaco Nail Academy, and today for the Salon Success Podcast, I am joined by Jessie.
Hello.
Hello. Jessie is currently sitting in the training studio, having just finished the first day of official teaching in our new studio, and I am working from home, living that luxury life.
We're literally 3 minutes away from each other.
Yes, we are literally like less than a kilometre, but still doing this via the magical internet. So we like to kick things off talking about real life basically as a nail tech. So let's jump straight into the deep end and the dark end. And Jessie, what's been the hardest thing about being a nail tech or running your salon this week?
I kind of forgot the questions, even though I've been running it for a while. So I didn't pre-think. But I was thinking while you were talking, and I think for me, I've had less time with my kids this week, and I think it's because I have kind of started the whole, I'll just pop out to the salon and do a set of nails. I know it's not my night, but she's desperate and I'm going away next week, so I'll just do a set of nails now.
Yeah.
And so I think that I need to nip that in the bud straight away, because I've found that I don't know, not that I miss my kids, because I kind of have been a stay-at-home mum for 9 years, so I don't miss my kids, but I feel sad sometimes when I don't always get to be there and put them to bed. I start getting the mum guilt. I wish I didn't, but I do.
And it's hard too, because wanting to be busy and to be a nail tech is what you've been wanting for years now, and then you get it and that other sacrifice comes, and it's the balance is really hard.
Yeah, I've got to be a bit more assertive, I think. Yeah. And actually, they weren't pushy. It was more like me trying to be too accommodating. They kind of would have been okay if I'm just nah, you'll just have to wait.
Yeah, and the thing is as well that I think when you first start, it is you're excited, and the fact that someone wants you is a big deal. So you want to say yes.
Yeah.
But then, if you don't stick to the rules that you started with right from the start, and you keep going with them, that's when you're going to end up burnt out, and you're going to end up with clients saying, or clients get a little bit antsy because you were able to do last Tuesday.
Yeah.
Why can't you do Tuesday this time? And you start feeling like you have to say yes to everything, and it snowballs. It definitely snowballs. Rein it in, Jessie.
Yeah. And I think also that I justified it because I did it a couple of times. I think I justified it because I'm really starting to be assertive with making sure my clients know that they're not to pick their gel polish off. And so I'm even if that means that, because I've written removals into my prices, even if that means you just pop in for a removal because you can't come in, that's okay, but I don't want you picking it off, because then that gives me a bad name. And both people that I've asked to do that, I'm you need to come over and get them removed if they're starting to chip. And they're I had to cut them down for netball and now they're chipping. I'm well, yeah, you've removed the cap, so now they're chipping. So please come over. And then I felt like I had to accommodate them because they were being well behaved and not picking it off. And then they both turned into a repeat appointment anyway. They were just just repaint them. I'm here. You might as well repaint them. And I'm just
That happened with one of my clients a year ago who came just for wedding nails, and then I had soaked off the nails, I had high shined, and then she was can I put more color on? I was like,
Yeah.
damn it, because I'd just done this beautiful high shine. But she stayed a fortnightly client. She still comes to me,
Yeah.
so I guess, totally worth it. But
Yeah.
I was like, damn it.
Yeah.
I think I have similar stuff because we're now down in the village and I do my clients from inside the training studio. So I've had a few new clients recently that I've tried to fit in. But at the end of the day, I'm really solidly booked. So I had someone message today saying, can I come in to get them soaked off and redid? And I have to be strict, like the same battle that you're having. So I had to say to her, I actually can't for 2 weeks. There's nothing I can do. But the thing is, because she's new and it's not just her, there's quite a few people that since we've moved into the new studio that are similar. She didn't know to book in advance. And even though I'll say to them, it does get quite booked up, so make sure you book in advance, they don't take it seriously because they've maybe only ever been to nail bars before or things like that. And they're like, oh, yeah, whatever, it'll be fine. But it's not. Now I can't see her for another 2 weeks. And she has booked in, but, it's a balancing act.
And that's good because now I know it sounds like I'm telling them off, but now they've learnt that when you say you need to pre-book, now they've learnt that lesson. But it's hard because if you leave it another 2 weeks, they're gonna pick it off.
Yeah, you absolutely do have to train new clients. And I think it's kind of what we say to students about how a quality client is better than 10 low quality clients, and just to hang out for those clients that are really good quality. If you're going to have a good quality client who's going to come to you fortnightly and for a really long time, it is it's a serious relationship. You do have to actually train them and get in sync with each other. But I think definitely.
Yeah, totally.
So what would you say then on the flip side has been the best part of running the salon? To me, it sounds like your thing is kind of the good and the bad, but what's been your highlight this week?
I think just I've said this a couple of times, but you haven't been in the podcasts, that I sort of face a week where I think I've got no one and then I end up with a decent amount. And so again, that's just going to be training my clients, please just book at the end of your last appointment so I know what's happening. But also I did my hairdresser's nails and she asked for extensions. And I always get really nervous when there's somebody that's in our little town quite publicly, she's a hairdresser and she, we're in a small town and everybody talks. And so her nails are on show this week to potential clients, people that I want coming to me. And she asked for extensions and I'm nervous with extensions and they ended up being really lovely. So
awesome. And now you have what we refer to as a queen bee, being someone who's, in a center, in a hive. She's a queen bee who can communicate to a lot of potential clients. And now that it went well, you've got a queen bee out there in your community, which is great. I think as well that at this time of year, the initial shock of the first power bills of winter have worn off and a few clients start to creep back. Around daylight savings time, when everybody suddenly gets cold and stops going out and socializing as much, and then the first power bill of winter comes in, definitely clients drop off. But now we're at that point where everyone's a little bit cabin fevery and you start to get a few extra bookings. I know that Mariah's had quite a few new bookings in the last couple of weeks. I think people are okay, now I want to get out of the house. I've hibernated enough now. I want summer.
Yeah, definitely. And you've got school balls and I don't know, I've actually found quite a lot of women are getting their nails done for the school holidays, where we are.
Oh, really?
And stuff. Yeah.
That's interesting. I've never had that as a trend before.
I don't know why.
Have you got quite a few school ball bookings in the past?
No.
Yeah, no. But school ball bookings
our local ball isn't until the middle of August.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just trying to think of what special I'm going to do for the local school ball girls.
Yeah, I've never really had a lot of them. When I was brand new, I had a few, but I think part of that was actually that I was still quite young, like I was 20, but so I had people's little sisters and kids that I had babysat and stuff like that who were going to school balls, and those are the people who I did school ball nails for. But I don't think there's a massive market for school ball nails within home salons. So, like,
they've all spent their mum's budget on their dress.
yes, but also they want to go where their friends are going, and their friends are going wherever they've walked past. Like, they're probably not doing a whole heap of research into where they're going to go. So unless you have quite a heavy Instagram presence and you're sort of like one to watch in their group of friends, then you're probably not going to get them in, kind of thing. So
I'm definitely going to post on my local page, but something you just said made me think, like, sometimes it's usually the mums that know about the places, and so maybe I should be promoting the care that I actually take and looking after their daughters' nails rather than...
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And especially if your promotion is mostly on Facebook, then Facebook is more the mum's age group than the daughters anyway. The daughters are on Instagram. So if you're going to promote anywhere and if you're going to promote on Facebook, then definitely targeting mums, I think, is a really clever idea. Yeah, especially if it's their money.
Yeah.
I've never really done school ball promotions. I don't think there's anything wrong with doing them when you are growing and building a client base, because it can be a good way to get in like some quick, easy money. But then once you get busier, it's like, I mean, they're not going to turn into regular clients because they don't have regular money. So I personally wouldn't put a huge amount into the promotion, into the campaign. I'd just be like, okay, this could be a quick injection of funds while I'm still quiet, and especially with winter.
But I also want to promote the fact that, like, because I know that some girls are like, oh, well, I might as well not get them done because I have to have them off by school on Monday.
Yeah.
And so I think part of my special might be that you get a take-home removal pack for your gel polish nails, or you book in for a removal and I'll give you a luxury treatment. And it's all included in the package. So they can't come to me to get extensions unless they book in a removal. Like, they have to promise not to rip them off by Monday.
While I know that you're sitting at the training studio, we actually have a box of gel polish removal instruction cards that you could take some home, and then you could use those. They're like, I got maybe in the drawer, maybe in the office drawer.
Okay.
I think maybe the second one down, just so you all know. They're printed on business cards. They're little cards, but they're the gel polish removal instructions.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I actually got them printed so that we could give them to the models that our students use, and then I always forget that they're there.
That's a good point, actually, because I had a model today going, I didn't know how to remove them. And I'm just like,
oh yeah. So if you guys are watching live at the moment, I can see from the stats here that a few of you are. Tell us in the comments what was your highlight and what was your low light this week in running your business or your salon. But something that we like to do but don't necessarily always like to be called out on is one-ups. So a one-up takes the idea of constant improvement and makes it bite-sized. Clients are always impressed by a salon they can see constant improvement in, and that's really like scary and daunting. But so a one-up is the concept of doing one small thing every fortnight so that improvement is consistent but achievable. And I say that, I love a good one-up, but I hate this point in the podcast because I never know what my one-up is. I mean, it's good. It's holding me accountable. But
I'm trying to think what mine is.
Yeah, I try to think. Well, I mean, okay, so there's a new color gloss collection out. So my upcoming one-up can definitely be new colors.
Yeah. Have you put them on the shelves?
Not on the pink wall yet.
No.
They will be.
Yeah, I was looking this morning, but I looked at them back on that stand there. That one.
Yeah, they are on that stand.
Yeah.
They are up there, yeah.
They look good.
Yeah, so I think that's my one up coming up is just new colours. And as we've talked about before, what I'm going to do, because there have been 12 new colours released this week, basically, and I don't want to waste my one up. So I think I might release 3 this week and keep the other 9 like secret for a little bit, just so I can make the most of them and like maybe alternate a color one up with a different one up for the next few weeks.
So that you have something to say on podcast next week.
So that I have something to say on podcast next week. But like one of the collections is a sheer bridal one and one of them is a really, really bright one. So if I take like 2 brights and a sheer or like mix them up a little bit, and then that'll cover a lot of bases for a lot of clients without me going like, here are 12 colors and then what's exciting next week? I have to think of a whole nother thing. Whereas people are going to be excited by 3. They'd be excited by 1. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I don't know what I've done in the last couple of weeks, though. I don't remember what I said my last one was.
I know I've bought like an Ombre sponge pen.
Ooh.
So that I can do some French ombre nails because I'm not getting on well with the white pigment. But I've seen some people do it with highly pigmented white gel paint with an ombre brush. So I ordered an ombre brush, but it's not here yet. So I don't know if that's technically a one-up.
I mean, well, it's what you planned it.
Yeah.
It happened. It counts. It's
I'm
still
sure
progress.
if I think of something, because it can be quite small. I'm sure if I thought, but because I've got like a camera on me and everybody's listening, I can't actually go into my little world and think right now.
Teresa just said that she, that she's also brought one of those. Maybe once you work it out, you should do a live stream with it and show everybody because I think it sounds real cool. Yeah,
I'll be excited to use it.
So, Teresa, since I know that you're watching live, I want to know what your one-up is this fortnight as well. I'm just going to call you out as well and get you to comment what your one-up for the next fortnight is going to be so that we can all share ideas.
And Tony, because she got in the car, so she's listening. Don't text and drive.
Yeah, she can't text and drive, but we know she's there. And while you guys are listening, I know there's quite a few of you at the moment. Please do us a favor and hit the like button if you're enjoying the podcast, just because it enables more people to see us and see what we're doing. And the more engagement we get in the comments, the more interesting the podcast is going to be for you guys. So hit the like button or tag a friend or comment, and we'd love to have a conversation with you as well. So before we continue on with the podcast, I just want to take a quick second to talk more about those new color gloss colors. So if you are a Kiwi listener, because we do only ship in New Zealand, we have 2 brand new color gloss collections in stock now. Surely Devoted is comprised of 6 blush shades, and So Fly is 6 totally different colors that are about as bright as it gets. So come and visit us this week because classes are on, so we are there 10 a.m. till 5 p.m. every day this week, or you can email shop@monaco.ac.nz to order those new colors. So let's move on to our little mini topic of the week. And it actually ties in really well, Jessie, with your I don't want to say low light, but what we were talking about before, your struggle with timing, because the topic that we decided to talk about today was operating hours. So here's the first sort of like question is, have you assessed whether your operating hours are working for you lately? And I mean, you're not sticking to yours, but is that because maybe the hours that you have set are not good? Like, are they not the right hours for your business? Or is it more that they are the right hours, but you're just not sticking to them?
I think they are the right hours because at the moment I only do 2 late nights and a daytime.
Mm-hmm.
So I find that my daytime, I mean, it's been booked out once, but I really completely fill my day appointments. So that means that I've got time without the kids because they're at kindy to do my admin. And then I find my evenings are getting full. And I haven't had anybody say yet, like, oh, Wednesday nights are so hard, or oh, Friday nights are so hard, because I would have preferred to go on a Thursday, but it meant that almost every second Thursday I have to finish at 7:30 because Hayden's got board meeting or PTA meeting, and so it just would have been really hard to work out. So I do like my hours as they are at the moment, although...
And I think it's more important that they work for you than that they work for clients, because you can always find a client to fill it. It's just it might be harder than easier kind of thing. But you'll always find someone. I actually think that my operating hours are not working for me at the moment, and it's quite a difficult shift. Like one thing is that we have, because we're in the new studio, and the desk at our old studio, I had a desk I could use that was kind of like off to the side and tucked away, and I could see clients while a class was on. How the new studio is set up, I can't really. So there's been some shuffling to try and accommodate, making sure, like, I mean, technically I could, but I don't really want to be doing clients at the front of the class. So there's been some shuffling to try and move all my clients so that they are not at the same time as classes. That also means that my late nights are later, and like, I don't know, there's just some shuffling, and I don't think it's like a quick, easy fix. My business coach the other day was like, okay, we'll like change them. And I don't think it's that easy, because my clients are really well trained to do the same exact day and time every fortnight. And so I need to be finding spaces that work for all of us on an ongoing basis. So I guess tonight's like kind of topic is a little bit on topic for me as well. Carly has just said, I've found I have to have a little flexibility with my hours. People have busy lives, and sometimes it just doesn't work for them, but for the most part my hours work great. And I think that's where I was when I first started. I was super flexible for anybody, for everything, to make all the money, and then I got more and more selfish. And I'm happier being more selfish, but I think at the moment I would love to cut my hours down slightly, but the clients that I have that would get cut are people that have been really loyal to me and for a long time, and those people I don't want to cut. But I cannot change my hours. Like, so for example, someone who can only come at 8 o'clock on Thursday nights, and I don't want to be doing nails at 8 o'clock on a Thursday night anymore. However, I do not want to not do her nails. And it's not the money, it's not any of that, it's the person. I want to keep that person. And so that's a little bit of my struggle at the moment, is trying to find a balance between what Carly's saying and then what's going to make me happy.
A balance between being flexible but not like hating your job.
Yeah, exactly. Teresa just said, could we shuffle the studio space a little? And I mean, like, we probably could, but I really love the studio. I would rather deal with this scheduling shuffle for a little while than change the studio. Like, that's, although it's hard to shuffle the schedule, I got to pick one, and I picked that kind of thing. I love how the studio is set out.
It is a really nice flow. And I found it nice today because the board is just in front of me here, and so usually I'm facing the other way looking at the students behind me. And in the old studio, if I wanted to pull up the theory workbook and just have it there in case I forgot something, it was like on the other side of the room.
Yes.
And so I just felt like a little bit flustered, whereas today I just had it up on the screen and I was able to just go, oh, yeah, we've got everything that we were meant to cover.
Yeah.
So I really liked that. Yeah.
And I think as well, if we shuffled the studio to accommodate my clients, the training would lose. Like, we have a pedicure area now. We have like our disinfection area, and any shuffling we did for me would take something away from training, and I just don't want to do that. So we will shuffle.
Tony has said that her hours is one thing that she's super happy with, and she gets a good work-life balance.
Tony's so good at that, though. She's so good at like
just
being super assertive and being like, nope, that does not align with what I want. Like, my friend Alicia's the same. Like, they are so assertive.
Technically, people are offering you money.
Yes.
They're asking for appointments, and she's seeing it as, no, I don't have the time for that because it'll throw my balance out of the whack and I won't be enjoying it anymore. Whereas I just see, oh, that's like such and such dollars in my pocket tonight.
Yeah. And I have a certain superstition about it as well, where if I'm like, okay, well, I want to be making X amount of dollars, then money is offered to me. I'm like, well, if I don't take it, then, like, I don't know, is the universe listening? Like, I need to say yes to everything, and I find it really hard to I think I'm pretty good at saying no and making people work within my hours mostly, but definitely, like, a full set is a different story. Like, if I've said I am broke this week, or, you know, when you say you're broke, but you just mean your money's, like, already prioritized, and then someone wants a full set, I'm like, how do I say no to that much money? Like, it's really hard.
And that's the thing as well. It's just like, well, like before, actually in my house, it was easier for me to say no because I'm just like, no, because my kids won't be asleep. My husband will have to leave the house. I have to set it up, and it's only for a gel polish. Whereas because I'm just like outside and it's all set up, I just have to turn the light on and sit down. I think that's why I'm finding it hard to say no, because I'm just like, but the kids are like all ready to get into bed and I just have to like run outside, and that's, you know,
and make some money. Just gonna run outside and run back with money.
But
you have strict hours, right? Like, you do have hours that you want to be doing. Same. I think my thing was more that, like, before I could be a little bit more flexible, and now because of how I want to be going forward, I'm having to rein in those people that relied on the flexibility. So I do have strict hours, but I haven't stuck to them.
Yeah, and that's the same. And I've found that, like, even just 1 week of me sort of fitting people in, I'm just like, oh, yeah, I probably shouldn't do this. It's going to get old pretty fast. Carly did say, can you change your prices, increase them a bit, and maybe the clients will move themselves? And that's an option for some people. I don't feel like that's something that you would do, right, Penny? You've been quite established.
I mean, do you think what Carly's saying is if I increase them, some of the clients will leave? I'm not quite sure if I understand.
That's how I've sort of seen it, is that you are putting yourself up there as being a bit like more exclusive. But I think you're already exclusive and people want you for that fact. Like, I don't think you changing
it's really just a paperwork problem. Like, I'm not meaning to complain about it. Like, it's just a thing that has to be done. And it's going to take a little while for everyone to shuffle into their new places. The problem is, like, I could happily just say, I can't do this appointment anymore, but it's the people. I want to keep those people.
And Tony said that it's easier to say no now that she's in a salon versus at home, which is true. I have like the very middle problem with I have a salon and it's right at my house, so it's easier. Whereas Tony can be like, no, it's like I have to get in the car, travel, open up my salon. Like, no, like these are my work hours. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm halfway between you guys because on the one hand, it's not in my home. It is down the road and I am very lazy. So even though it's only not far down the road, it's still down the road. But if I know I'm going to be there, then I'm like, oh, what's starting an hour earlier kind of thing. So I tack people onto the either end or I go home an hour later. So I'm pretty good at saying all I've got available is this, and this, but it's extending my day. And that's what I'm not as good at. Like, what would your ideal week look like?
I'm fully booked in the evenings, and I have 2 45-minute slots on my day to do my admin and social media stuff. Because I find if I have a 45-minute slot at the beginning or at the end of my work hours, I just go inside early, or I just go out to my salon early. Whereas I find if I've done a gel polish and then I've got a 45-minute slot or even a half an hour slot, I'll stay in my room, get my laptop out and do the work. So I already talked on a podcast saying how I had a fully booked day, and I posted about it on my social media, and I was so stoked. But at the end of the day, I was just like, holy crap, I'm so behind on my admin. And I really want to stay on top of it. Like, I really don't want the end of the financial year to be like.
Definitely. I think the question of the ideal day or week is actually a really interesting one, because I can make every excuse in the book for why I keep clients or why I add another person to the start of the day or that sort of thing. Like, and it's one little tweak at a time, so you don't really notice that it's a big deal. But actually, if I think what my ideal day or week looks like, my ideal week would be doing clients from 5 till 8, and that's it. 5 till 8, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday nights, and that's it. And that's not what I'm doing right now. And I don't, it just comes back to that same thing where I don't want to lose those particular humans. It's not their nails. I want to keep doing their nails because I like those people. So it's that compromise, but it's interesting to stop for a second to go, okay, actually my ideal week is 5 till 8, 3 evenings. And so that is what I work towards. So maybe as each of those clients drops off for any reason, they don't get replaced. And maybe that's how I work towards it going forward.
The only thing that I'd like to slightly tweak is I stop my appointments at 2:45 and I don't go back to them until 4 p.m. So that gives me 15 minutes to drive out to get my children, and I'm on schedule, so it blocks me 15 minutes at the end of my appointment. So even if the appointment's gone over, I'm not going to be late to pick up my kids. But what I find is, because it gives me that extra 15 minutes buffer, and I've given myself a 15-minute buffer to go and get my children from kindy, that people aren't seeing what I want them to see, and that is, why not come an hour early to school pickup, because we live at school, and instead of sitting in your car scrolling on your phone, you can be in my cabin getting your nails done and then walk next door and get your kids.
Yeah.
And so people aren't seeing that, because the last appointment they can book is 1:45, and they don't really see that as, oh, it's almost school pickup time. So I'm trying to figure out how I can do that without picking my kids up later, because they'll probably charge me more. Trying to see we'll see.
If you guys are listening live at the moment, tell us in the comments, what impact do your current hours have on you or your relationships or your family or your goals? Like, because I think that's actually one of the more interesting parts of what Jessie and I are saying is, you know, that something as small as hours actually has quite a massive impact on, especially, well, for you, Jessie, your family, and for both of us, our goals. Like, hours actually, they're a lot more influential than I think they get credit for. Tell us if you are listening. Oh, sorry, you go, Jessie.
No, sorry, I was interrupting you. But I originally didn't want to have that hour where I had to go and get my kids. I wanted to make it work so that Hayden could go and get them and I could just work through. But I'm actually really enjoying that hour, because it gets me out, it gets me stretched, because you know, like how it gets in the salon, like you can sort of hunch over. And it means that I can just have and I find that I spend that hour with my kids one-on-one, like playing with them, making them food, because I'm just like, no, this is my hour to pick up the kids and get them sorted before I hand them back to Hayden. So I'm really enjoying that. So it really does have such a huge impact. I actually reckon that what I wanted at first was to work through and have Hayden pick up the kids. I actually would hate that now if I didn't have that hour to just regroup and then go out and do my late night.
Yeah, that's interesting to consider as well. Yeah, that just because we think that certain opening hours are perfect for us doesn't mean that they are going to align that well with our goals, even if our goals are family oriented.
Yeah, like give it a go and see how it's working and be open for adjustment. Like don't go and print a sandwich board with your opening hours on them.
Yes. So interesting point, because I'm currently getting like the quotes and everything for signage for the new studio. And one of the guys sent back the sandwich board with the hours on it. And I told him literally this morning to take them off. And on the back of that, for the sign that's going outside, what I think I might do is have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday printed on it, but with like very tidy handwriting and a vivid, write the hours next to it so that I can clean them off and change them if I need to be, and I'm not stuck to what's on the board. Because I think
you can have a little blackboard slot, can't you, on a sandwich board?
Yeah, I think so. And I mean, like, as much as I would love to be a person who can just put some hours and stick to them, like, I'm so constantly striving to change and improve my life, the business, all those things, that I need to be more flexible with it. And the end of last year, I tried being at the studio from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. every single day, and it actually just made me miserable. I need to have a little bit more flexibility to change and improve on an ongoing basis. And that's
about working for yourself, right? Like, you want to be your own boss, so you want to be able to make your own hours. Yeah.
Tell us in the comments if you are listening to us live on Facebook what your current hours are and how you would change them, and if that would impact your clients. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, it's more, I suppose, not would they, but how would they impact your clients, and who's more important, you or your clients, and that overall goal that you have. Because that's sort of the struggle that Jessie and I have been talking about all evening, incidentally, is trying to make everything align with our goals, and I suppose then realigning goals when, like, we're really just learning what we want. We don't know. It turns out we have no idea.
We're evolving.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I mean, building on that idea of having the conversation in the comments, which Justine's just said, flexibility is key. And yes, I'm learning a lot lately about, this is slightly tangential, but I think I'm just really learning a lot at the moment about myself, but also being okay with those things that are myself. So this is like slightly tangential, but with my business coach, I've been learning that actually I really need routine. I've always thought like me being unadaptable to things was a character flaw and something that I should try and change and work around. But Nicole's kind of going like, no, you just need routine. But I need flexibility in that routine. There's like a balance. And I think with Justine saying flexibility is key, like, yes. And I'm trying to learn that even though all the shops around us have set opening hours, that doesn't necessarily make me happy. Therefore, that's okay. I don't have to have set opening hours. The business has to work for me and not the other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Building on that conversation that's happening in the comments here tonight, the beauty of Monaco is that we are a community of nail techs, not a haphazard mix of individuals, a community of nail techs together. So while we're together, let's keep each other accountable with one quick fire question that keeps us on our toes. And this week, the quick fire question is, when was the last time you posted a video to social media? Jessie, when was the last time you posted a video to social media?
I chose the question, and
you sure did. Is that because you knew you could answer it well?
I might actually go and look. How about I hand the question over to you, and I'll
Sure,
tell
while
you
you look.
exactly the last time.
I mean, with Monaco, it's easy because we have so many opportunities to live stream. But with my client page, couldn't tell you, because I think Tony's really good at doing videos, and I absolutely understand the importance of them. The reason that we have put, Abby's just commenting, she's never put a video on social media, and Tony has one going up tomorrow. I told you, she's good at it. The thing with video,
time-lapse Tuesdays, which are really good. She has time-lapse Tuesdays, which are really good.
Yeah.
My last technical video was actually a boomerang, which I know Penny hates.
That does not count.
It was on the 21st of May. My last video was... Oh, no, that's your Facebook, not mine. It always puts me off. Where are we? Was the 8th of March 2017.
2017
of my daughter. So it's actually something I haven't thought about. Like I've posted like Instagram stories and stuff, but I haven't posted a video. So I might give a time lapse a go, like what Tony does.
Because the thing is that, like, if we talk about Facebook specifically, Facebook's algorithm is set to show videos to more people than pictures, because Facebook's company goals, I think it was last year, one of their company goals was to eclipse YouTube in terms of hours of video watched. They wanted to basically become a YouTube replacement. They want to compete with YouTube, and so they've got like a watch tab on Facebook now, because they want you, like, and it sounded really cool, but I don't think it's really taken off. But when you watch a video, you can click like watch with friends, and you can actually have a comment section to yourself. So like you could be watching an episode of something, and you and all your friends in different parts of the country or wherever can be like commenting to each other in essentially a group chat, but the group chat is tied with the video you're watching. Which sounds like, I mean, considering how much my friends talk about Love Island in our group chat, and it drives me nuts. I mean, it sounds like a cool concept, but because it's not, I suppose they also need to be competing with someone like Netflix for that sort of thing to be working. But either way, the algorithm is trained to prioritize video. So that, like, basically their idea is that if you get more likes from a video than you do from a photo, you will post more videos, and the more videos you post, the more people will come to Facebook for video content, and then they eclipse YouTube. So videos get more likes just because it shows to more people, and that's the only main reason that we encourage video, is just because of that. So we've got a couple of comments, like Teresa said that she hasn't put one up in a while, but she tries to put something up once a week. Carly put a video up 3 weeks ago. Teresa just asked what a decent time-lapse and editing program is, and I will tell you the one that I use is Effectum, EFECTUM. So that's a decent one for making a time lapse. So the thing is as well with your video,
if you've just got a camera, like a vlogging style camera or a digital camera, you can just video it and then speed it up on like even Apple iMovie. Like I do video editing on iMovie. And you can, there's also, if you've got an Apple iPhone, I don't know about Galaxy, but there's also just on your camera an option to time lapse. And the good thing about it is, even if it's like a half an hour video, it only stores the 6 seconds worth of video memory wise, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
So you can just do it on your phone.
Yeah, my one, I just video it on my phone at normal speed, and then I put it into Effectum, and it turns it into a time lapse. And I don't know, but there's lots of options. I can hear you, but I can no longer. Oh no, there you are. My computer froze for a second. But the thing with videos, it can just be a 30-second live that shows. It doesn't have to be some crazy edited thing. You can just go live to show a cool set of nails you did, and then go close the live 30 seconds later. A live stream doesn't have to be this epic episode of something. It can just be you're going to show people what these nails look like.
And it can be something funny, like we were talking about how we like reel feeds, and you may want to show a video of your salon after you've had a fully booked day, and you might want to be like, okay guys, now look at all the files and buffers I've got to deal with, or look how much glitter's on my floor, or something like that. So it doesn't have to
real
be
life, make it relatable. Yeah. So just before we wrap up, I want to take a minute to remind you guys that if you are a Kiwi listener, because we do only ship inside New Zealand, we have 2 brand new colour gloss collections in stock now. Shelley Devoted is comprised of 6 blush shades, and So Fly is 6 totally different colours that are about as bright as it gets. And you can come and visit us in our studio in Ellerslie this week, or you can email shop@monaco.ac.nz to order. With that done and dusted, before you guys disappear as we wrap up this week's podcast episode, please do hit like on the podcast. I really, really appreciate it. Chuck a comment in, tag a friend who you think might like it. We are back just after 5 p.m. every Monday. But Jessie, until then, where can they find you?
Shine Now Design NZ.
On Insta and Facebook? What's that?
Yeah. And I'll do a video this week.
Also, that now they have to follow you, because you should video your one-up.
What was my one-up?
I don't know. Do you have one?
Oh, okay, yeah, I'll think of a one-up and I'll video it.
Okay, then, okay, hold me accountable. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do a video of the new colours.
Sounds
you have
good.
to remind me.
Okay.
Everybody can remind me.
I'll write it in my notebook.
Slap me on the hand when I haven't done it next week. No, I'm going to do it. We have to lead by example. So you guys can follow me at Penny Lawler Nail Artist on Facebook and Instagram, and then hold me accountable for not posting that dang video. But until then, we are off for the evening to do a whole heap of washing because it was luxury treatments day in the studio. But you guys have a great evening and a great week, and we will see you next time.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.